What's the deal, YouTube? Jeffy, I am back with some more of it. Welcome to Okay, let's talk about it. So let me ask you first off, how are you today? How things going in your life? Me, I'm chilling like always. But I wanted to talk about something interesting. I wanted to share a conversation I had with you, and it was about marriage. Somebody asked me, well, a young lady asked me, why do most men prefer not to get married in 2025? And without really thinking, I said, are you asking me why you can't find a man to marry you in 2025? But as the conversation, you know, progressed and different ideas was thrown out there, and with changing social values and social views in the world, it sparks a good conversation. Because traditionally, we're gonna talk traditionally, right? The expectations, you know, have really changed on relationships. So then you go into the marriage field, and it makes you think, oh, I got myself into something that I didn't know I was getting myself into. Then you have, I believe, a lot of men have pressure to conform to the different changes that life brings, culturally, how things change, and some men might succumb to that pressure, some may not. And I think that has to do with a lot of femininity going on with men nowadays. But that's a whole nother subject, right? But you got to think too. One of the questions was, you know, economic instability, the rise in cost of living. That's a big issue, especially with providing if you were to have a family. And it's when you put it all in the whole, some people or some men may think that it's a a financial risk. It's a high divorce rate nowadays, which is different than how I grew up. Because most of my friends have been married over 20 years, 15 years, have long relationships. You know, then I think people look for the perfect marriage. What is the perfect marriage? I think a lot of people, when they meet the young lady they want to marry, a lot of men, a lot of women have that expectation of the big wedding. Eventually had a white picket fence in the big home. But realistically, nowadays, is that feasible? Can that really happen? I think basically it's all trends. The way the social trends go on. I had to in my one of my responses I had to reply is it's with all the options that are available to men and women nowadays. Is it worth really getting into a relationship? You know, because it's not look society doesn't look at relationships like it used to. Too many options, freedom. Everybody wants freedom and want to be free and do whatever they want to do, right? So the next question that was brought to me, and I think this is an interesting one too, right? I was asked, why do a lot of men date married women? And I kind of laughed to myself. So that's a good question. So I asked her, why do you some of your friends or people are satisfied with a married man? So at the bouncing questions back and forth, I kind of see it the same way, men and women. And from my point of view and my experience, when you deal with a married woman, there's a big room for danger because you're dealing with somebody's wife, which I do not condone at all, at all. And then you have security. You know that person's not gonna call you. You have a set schedule, and then some people just happen to like each other in these different situations. And I watch different women, especially as they get older, they fall into these situations with these married gentlemen. And when I say security, they may not like this person, but this man can shoot over a few dollars and financially keep the young lady afloat or the lady afloat. And for gentlemen too, sugar babies, you know, the world gives you different options to choose different things. And that was my reply. And I thought it was a good conversation because nobody's really talking about being married or having long relationships. You know, the music influences people. And I'll say this. I gave my opinion simply because of my experience. And this is how I look at it. Yes, I was with somebody a really, really long time. Would I get married again? I don't know. I would love to. I think everybody aspires to not spend the rest of their life alone. And I'm not alone. I just don't want to get married. And when you, it's kind of funny. Not funny. It just makes me think about what I would really actually want to say, right? It's because, like in my own experience, when when it was really house, family, kids, you know, for many, many years, and you have your ups and downs, your good and your bads. But one thing I do not like and change me about how I look at relationships, marriage, the whole institution of marriage is somebody you've been with for years, 10, 12 years, wake up in the morning and that person laying next to you, you have no idea who that is. And for me, I don't take that into, well, I guess I do. I take that into how I have dealt with women, but it's made me more aware and a lot more responsible on my end. So whatever comes out of my mouth, it won't be turned around and thrown in my face. Because I'm a man. If I said it, I meant it. But again, that's why I gave my opinion of something that I went through in my late 20s. And like I said, everybody aspires to get married. But all in all, that was my opinion, and I wanted to share that with you because I thought that was an interesting topic to really touch and kind of play around with. So, if you like, leave a comment. Let me know how you feel. But welcome. I mean, thank you for coming in. Thank you for giving me your time. And Misty sleep. So we gonna get out of here, and we'll talk in a minute. Jeffy, I am. In a minute. To honestly tell you the truth, yeah, man. A tip to the brothers. All this tricking if you got it, putting it out there. Do what you do, but just know you make the price of the yacht go up high. Now you deal with that, right? And to my ladies, you do know BBLs are going out of style, right? Natural women are coming back. Be yourself, love yourself. If you knew better, you do better.